think I've always been a musician, from learning the piano at the age of 5 to learning the violin when I was a little bit older. My interest in composing for media came from watching TV and films and documentaries when I was a teenager. I love the potential the music has to draw emotion out of what's on the screen. Music gives you freedom. There is no other tool that gives people such a wide range of emotions. And so part of my job is to help people with that choice. When they're watching the media, it's to help them have a deeper experience of what they're watching. It's important that you have a good idea of what the director wants from the music. When I worked on the short film Reality, that was a great opportunity because the director James was so clear about what he wanted. He'd sent me plenty of examples of music he liked, so that gave a clear starting point when I was working on that. It was important that those characters were given melodies that portrayed their emotions, but that also worked when they were put together. Anytime you're working on a new project, you've always got to start from scratch. You can't use anything you've previously written because it just won't work. And regardless of what you think works, you've got to get a really clear idea of what the client or the director wants. Working in a digital audio workstation, what I record in from my keyboard can be edited and manipulated, such as changing the pitch of the note. I often work with live sample libraries, packages of recorded piano or whole orchestras, for example. I can easily assign melodies that I've written to different instruments to build up the piece. Every job I do is so varied and interesting. Recently I worked with Meg Briley, founder of A Gentle Journey, composing music for her hypnobirthing scripts.
The hypno part of hypnobirthing is the mental preparation. It's allowing you to have a set of tools and techniques to quieten your mind, to allow you to go into a state of calm and focus so that your body can do the job that it's designed to do. And this is where writing my own scripts and having a composer who can create the perfect music is, I can tailor that so they know it really is written for their context and their bubble. Music can really help to add an extra layer of emotional connection to that script. The music can be very powerful, so if you were to play somebody just the music from the script they had been practicing with for 2 months of their pregnancy, that music would have been conditioned as an anchor and allow them to go back straight to that state they've always been in when they listen to the full script. So the music and the script work beautifully as a combination. The beauty of the music that you can listen to during pregnancy is your unborn baby is hearing the music as well. Noise is necessary to help make us feel calm because we're never in silence, and that's where the music, it's familiar, it's safe, it creates our bubble where we are in control.
The project I did for Meg didn't involve picture. It was writing music for relaxation. In my job, I often write music not yet assigned to a specific project, but music in a style or a mood that an individual can then use for their own media project. Sometimes if there isn't a specific job on the table, I will write music for libraries that can then be sold by companies on the internet. Companies will release briefs for composers to submit tracks in different styles that can be bought by individuals to use in their own personal projects. These kind of jobs are interesting, because they're often jobs less in my comfort zone, but doing this kind of work helps me to build new skills in different styles and genres of composing. It's important, I think, as a composer to find something that's different from other composers. And I enjoy making my own samples and then editing them in the studio. Making samples out of interesting instruments like water in a vase or a great weighted string hanging from the banister is that you can create a sound that hasn't been replicated before. You can very easily take the single sample sound and make a whole instrument out of it in the computer. And that's what makes the sound more interesting. And I like to include these sorts of sounds in my work because it makes me different and makes my music different. think the hardest part about being a composer is possibly also the most rewarding part, and that's the part really that is the magic of the music, and it's the fact that the music is actually invisible on the screen. You hear it, you don't see it, and often you don't even know it's there. As a composer, if an audience has noticed the music, then I haven't done my job properly, because the whole point of the music is to be the final piece of the puzzle, to be the emotion that the audience is feeling. Music is the bridge between the visuals and the audience. The important thing to remember as a composer is that actually you're generally the last person to see the product before the audience does. It's important to remember that although we are a piece of the jigsaw and we are an important piece, the people who've dreamt up this project have been thinking about it for months and sometimes even years, and there have been possibly hundreds of people involved in putting this project together. So you really can't be precious as a composer. It's important that you don't see it as a work of an artist necessarily, but the work of someone who is trying to draw the emotion out of what's on the picture. And that part of the job has really helped me to feel less self-conscious, because when you realise it's not about what you're feeling, it's about what the characters on the screen are feeling, and your job is to communicate those emotions to the audience. Really, that helps you to feel less exposed. My love for working as a composer, I think, is something that I wasn't sure I'd be able to do as a job. I thought it was a sort of dream that would be afforded to people maybe living in Los Angeles or living somewhere far away from where I was. And what I love about this job is that it has allowed me to be creative all the time. And so I feel like I'm always switched on in that way, and it's given me freedom to open up my head to different ideas. My name is Helen Lyon and I'm a